Namaste. Namaste, beloveds. It's beautiful to share this night with you here in Johannesburg. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear the sound of the crickets singing in the background. I hope so. I hope you do. So, what is a Dakini? Dakini. And what are the pure lands of the Dakini? Yeah. It's a beautiful question to ask directly of spirit, of the energies. But I'll give you the meaning that many of you have heard already. I'll give you a little deeper understanding into that as well. So Dakini is a word that is arising out of Tibetan Buddhism. And it means sky dancer. Sky dancer. Isn't it lovely? Sky dancer. In my view, there's some connection between birds and Dakinis. Did you know that birds are the oldest living creatures on Earth? They were with the dinosaurs, and they survived. Isn't that amazing? So when you look at a bird, you are seeing a being that lived in the time of dinosaurs. Probably looks a bit different these days, I imagine. But the hardy-dars in Joburg, I think, look exactly the same. So the word sky dancer, if you just take it into its essence, the word sky, it has a sense of vast and infinite emptiness. And what the word sky points to in this description, in this image, Spirit is trying to share a picture with us. Like, have a look, see the picture, feel the picture, trying to feel the picture. Whoops. This vast emptiness, this infinite emptiness. Now, in most human beings, the sky, which is referring to the mind, the bodhicitta actually, the awakened mind of the sky dancer. In most human beings, their sky, their mind, is full of thoughts that go around in circles and circles and circles and circles. Right? And they're constantly trying to solve the problems of the moment, work out what is going on in their life, trying to find a goal or a path or something like this. So the mind is very full. And what we understand on the path of Dakini is that when your mind is full of story, dancing, the energy can't rise in you. The energy of existence, it's like a room that's so full you can't enter it. It's like that. So the energy gets caught, the chi, the energy is caught in the multitude of structures of the mind. And when we do the holy work is the work that is you're letting go of these structures. But to let go of the structure, you need to become aware of it. And when you become aware of it, you wonder why you ever really had it, this protection also, or something like this. So the work is to reveal the structure, is to raise our awareness enough to reveal the structure. And for many people that can be very challenging, because they first have to go to that layer of defense that I'm doing something wrong, that I've done something wrong, I'm getting it wrong, there's something I need to fix in myself. So they have to get through that kind of, I call it more like an immature response, like, oh, you're saying there's something wrong with me? Many of us have been through that, haven't we? We've walked on the path, we've noticed there has been some offense or defense, that we even have something to be present with. So that's often the first step. So the work becomes really important in raising our awareness and expanding, in the tantra, the tra is the expansion, expanding the awareness, so you can begin to see these structures that are like imprisoning your chi. when you really start to get in touch with them, you'll see that what we perceive as the loss of freedom from outside our being, like when we feel we are not free because our partner is controlling us, or because our family will only like us like this, or our tribe, we have to be a very particular way, or our government is, putting all kinds of rules and regulations upon us, and we feel this lack of freedom. When we really look inside, we really turn that in. We can see that particular dance with freedom is an inner dance. And as we start to free the structures in us, we can sit very happily all day in this kind of blissful energy that is spiraling through our being, that's got nothing to do with what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. Though we can still have some commentary on that, or some feeling about that as well, So as these structures start to dissolve in us through awareness, through practice, through doing this holy work, then the energy rises. And energy isn't a linear, straight thing, it's a dancing thing. Energy is dance, energy is dance. And then you also start to just dance, and you can feel your life is moving through you in a different way. In a way you become life itself, moving, instead of you going, what should I do with my life or my day? Life kind of does you. You get done by life, So that's the sky dancer. And the sky dancer, must be said, she holds, in my view, the quintessence of the feminine. She holds that the essential stream, river of the feminine being. And it's through the feminine presence, rooted in the feminine, through the Dakini, that awakening happens. And what we come to see as we meet the feminine, which I feel is important for the conversation we'll be having as we go forward, is the feminine is also rooted in the ocean of sexuality. The ocean, not so much of sexuality, but of sexual energy. In that thick honey chi, which is different to enlightened spirit, which is more fine and empty. Sexual energy is thicker, more like honey, more like oceanic honey. Maybe not quite as thick as honey, but has a presence. And this rootedness into sexual energy which is giving birth to all life into form, from spirit to form, it comes through the sexual energy. She has no division. The feminine has no division in herself for sexual energy. She doesn't judge it as wrong or bad or shameful or guilty, or that's all in the land of human beings. That's their dance. And as part of her gift of awakening, as part of that, she is inviting you to look at your dance with sexual energy. Because sexual energy is a deep part of this energy that is dancing through you. Yeah, it's like, so if you're not prepared to look at that, there's a vast part of energy that you're going to be pushing away in those structures of the mind. So this is a really important, conversation in terms of awakening. And we'll go deeper into that. I just want you to understand Dakini more. So oftentimes when you see images of Dakini, she can be naked, dancing naked on a lotus flower. It's not, there's no trouble for her in that way. It's like she's dancing rooted in her profound sexual energy. The lotus flower is representing this exquisite awakening of sexual energy that is at the essence of the feminine. Yeah. So I'd like to invite you, as I introduce you a little bit to the Dakini energy and what it is, what it's doing, as you get some hints of it from things I tell you about it. Perhaps notice if for you, or if in the field, and the first thing I invite you to look at, is there any resistance? You know, like have a look if there's any resistance as you turn into this divine, yeah, it's a goddess stream. It's a divine feminine stream. As I invite you to look into it, feel it. Is there any resistance? Because as part of our you know, I want to call it conditioning, but I start to feel this word is starting to get overused. It's just stuck where we've been in the evolution of late. Call it patriarchy or something like that. The main, one of the main keys that has been used to push the feminine away, you know, to suppress the feminine, has simply been doubt, isn't it? Doubt and distrust is also quite big. So as we kind of step into a pathway, a lineage that is really about the awakened feminine energy, and the divine feminine energy, as we step towards that, what might arise in the field, in our bodies, what might be seen in the unconscious, in the mind that isn't awake, the pre-bodhicitta mind, you could say, or the mind that stands in front of that, is what you've been taught from your life around the feminine. What have you been taught? Have you been taught to trust her? You know, not doubt her? So I invite you, as a practice for this conversation, to look into, as I listen to Shima speak about Dakini and awakened feminine energy and, you know, maybe the return of the goddess, you know. As I listen to these words, try to get a sense of where she's coming from. Do I feel any doubts? Do I feel any resistance? Do I have any doubts or resistance in joining her conversations? Because wherever you may have some doubt or resistance in this conversation around Dakini, for sure you have the same doubt and resistance in the conversation in your inner landscape with your own feminine. Because Dakini is not trying to get you to serve her so much, right? She wants you to serve or turn to, in love, the feminine that is within your being, that is you, whether you are a man or whether you are a woman. There is feminine being here present. How do you relate to her? So my first one is, what is the resistance? Is there doubt? Is there distrust? Maybe you don't have it. Maybe it's in the field. Good to take notice of it because it could touch you and, you know. So this is a really beautiful question to look at as we dance into the stream of a feminine enlightenment, you could call it, which is rooted down into the sexual energies. It goes down through your body. Be honest again. Be real. Do you have doubt? Do you have resistance? Do you have distrust? And also, as it came into our conversation a little earlier, which I will maybe take deeper in another conversation. There's this feeling. Yeah, I'm not going to go deeply into this now, but it is the question of freedom. Do you feel how your freedom is affected in the current, whatever you're experiencing on earth right now? Do you feel your freedom is being touched? And that's a question we're going to look at again at another time. I'm just going to bring it in because it came through my heart, but I want to focus on the question of this satsang we're in together, this holy walk into truth that we're in together, which is around the Dakini Pure Lands, the source of the Dakini, where the waters come from, where the waters flow from, Dakini Pure Lands. That's where these waters of Dakini are flowing from. I want you to have a look at how you resist, how you distrust, and how you doubt. And you might be saying, I always doubt myself. But maybe you're doubting the feminine inclination, the feminine seeing, the feminine wisdom that is rising in you because you've been taught to doubt it. And when it rises in me, you can do the same, That's possible. You do it with me, you do it with yourself, you do it with another. I'm not saying never to agree with everything someone is saying or something like that. I'm not at all saying that, no. So we won't go into the, the silliness of it. Must I agree with everything you say? It's not really about mental agreement or disagreement. It's about a feeling of I can turn into this, or that feeling of doubt is so strong I walk away. It can happen in a love affair as well, turning into love, and you feel a strong energy and you get so doubtful of that love that comes from the woman, let's say, or the feminine in the moment. Doubt it, and you walk from it in yourself or in the other. Yeah. So just feeling into these Dakinis, this wisdom lineage of the feminine that certainly, utterly includes the sexual energy. The naked Dakini dancing on the lotus petals, very rooted into the lotus petals, the flowering of her sexuality, rooted into the flowering of her sexuality. And it spirals through, opening the heart, awakening the bodhicitta, so she can speak truth, see truth, feel truth. And when you're in that presence, your doubts will arise. Your doubts, your distrust, which, remember, I told you, is maybe one of the first keys on this earth to suppress the feminine, is to doubt her, to the point maybe she doubted herself. So have a look where that is for you. As you take these steps into this satsang together, sadhana, have a look and see. As you move into your desire to meet more of the Dakini Pure Lands and what that means in your existence and your flowering and your awakening. Check it out. I look forward to seeing some comments if you like, if you feel brave. Yeah, thank you. I love you. Namaste.